Behind the RedLine, Episode 81. The Johannesburg Mine Dump Murders. Johannesburg, South Africa. Multiple victims. No single suspect. A killing ground hidden in plain sight. There are places where bodies disappear easily, not because no one looks, but because the land itself has been trained to absorb violence. Outside Johannesburg, vast yellow-gray hills rise unnaturally from the earth. They are not mountains. They are mine dumps, waste piles from decades of gold extraction. Toxic, unstable, uninhabited. And over many years, women's bodies were found there, left on poisoned ground, discarded where no one was expected to look twice. This is the story of the Johannesburg Mine Dump Murders, a pattern of killings that never received a single name, because naming it would have required admitting how long it was allowed to happen. Johannesburg exists because of gold. The city was built on extraction, fast wealth, fast labor, and fast disposal. When mining slowed, what remained were thousands of abandoned shafts, massive mine dumps, informal settlements pushed to the margins. These minelands are environmentally toxic, structurally unstable, lightly policed. They are not empty. They are forgotten. Sex work, informal labor, and survival economies often operate near these zones, where visibility is low and danger is high. This geography matters because violence follows places where accountability thins out. The women found near mine dumps shared painful similarities. Many were sex workers, migrants from rural South Africa or neighboring countries, economically displaced, living without stable housing. Some were known to outreach groups. Some were known only by street names. Some were never formally identified. What they shared was vulnerability, not weakness. They worked in areas where clients came and went. Violence was normalized. Police presence was inconsistent. When they disappeared, reports were often delayed. Sometimes because families were far away. Sometimes because documentation was missing. Sometimes because no one expected urgency. This delay cost lives. Bodies were found sporadically over years. Not all at once. Not in a single dump, but enough to establish a pattern. Women discovered partially clothed or unclothed, showing signs of sexual assault, blunt force trauma, strangulation. Some had been killed elsewhere and transported. Others appeared to have been assaulted and murdered on site. Mine dumps offered killers seclusion, soft ground for concealment, few witnesses, and critically, jurisdictional confusion. Were these crime scenes, dumping grounds, Industrial zones, responsibility blurred. Unlike famous serial cases, this pattern never received a single official label. There was no named investigation unit, no centralized victim database, no public warning. Cases were handled individually, which meant no shared intelligence, no pattern recognition, no escalation. Advocates and journalists raised concerns, but the response was fragmented. To acknowledge a serial pattern would have meant admitting that sex workers were being targeted systematically. Mine lands were functioning as killing grounds. Vulnerable women were being sacrificed to neglect. That conversation never fully happened. The unanswered question lingers: was this the work of a single offender, or multiple predators exploiting the same conditions? Evidence suggests different methods, different timelines, overlapping locations. This points not to one monster, but a system that created opportunity for many. Mine dumps became known dumping sites, and once a place becomes known as safe for disposal, violence multiplies. This is not a failure of imagination. It is a failure of protection. South Africa has one of the highest rates of gender-based violence in the world. Sex workers face criminalization, police harassment, lack of legal protection. When victims exist outside legal sympathy, killers take note. The mine dump murders exist at the intersection of gendered violence, economic desperation, post-industrial neglect, racial inequality. This was not invisible violence. It was unprioritized violence. The Johannesburg Mine Dump Murders do not end cleanly. There is no arrest to point to, no trial to conclude the story, only land that remembers. These women were not lost to randomness. They were taken by predictability, by systems that made their lives expendable and their deaths inconvenient. Behind the Red Line exists to name what official records would not. This was not just murder. It was structural permission. And until protection extends to the margins, the ground will keep swallowing bodies.